Hi, hello everyone. It's been a while since my last video on the game. Today I want to make a video about the new weapon, Spear, and pretty much why I'm swapping from Greatsword Dagger to Greatsword Spear, and perhaps in the future, Spear Dagger. But for sure I'm not playing anymore Greatsword Dagger. I'm gonna explain why, in which there's one circumstance where I would say maybe GS Dagger is maybe better, but I'm not even sure it's better. Okay. Uh, then I'm gonna make like a quick guide on Spear, the combos that I feel right now, main skills, what sets you can use for the Spear, and how I feel this class is played. So I'm gonna start off first with explaining why I'm swapping from Greatsword Dagger to Greatsword Spear. The main issue with Greatsword Dagger is you have no AoE damage. Like, for real. All AoE damage you have is Devastating Smash, Gaia Crash, Guillotine, if you proc it AoE, which is another thing. And then since the nerf on the bow shield, you can do stuff with... where is it? You can do stuff with Umbral Spirit, the perk with this one, which makes it single target, and the Lighting Infusion. But even there, the AoE damage is not really that good, and I don't really like it at all. For single target, it's pretty good. Like, I'm gonna say this right away. If you're looking to play arenas, or really small scale PvP, then you're probably better off playing Greatsword Dagger if what you want to do is nuke some people down and still be alive, okay? Now, if you're interested in the really important PvP on this game, I really recommend you that you swap to Greatsword Spear or Spear Dagger. That's up to you and wherever you prefer to play. The only exception is if you have a Teven Greatsword. If you have a Teven Greatsword, everything changes, because now your AoE CC has AoE damage, and a pretty huge damage. So when you get the Teven Greatsword, you are becoming useful on big fights. Otherwise, the issue is this class is, and I'm gonna just say it after playing it for like a month, it's utterly dog shit. You're gonna end up with 12, 15 kills on a big PvP, because, like, first of all, if you're facing competent players, the second the healer sees you jumping on a bow or on a healer itself, it's just gonna proc a shield, some heals, and your Guillotine doesn't anymore one-shot. Like, Guillotine doesn't one-shot anymore, okay? It's not even against people with... endurance or melee evasion. Like, bow players, for example, you cannot do 100 to 0 anymore because of the bow passive, okay? So this was indeed a nerf. The issue is this is screwed over Greatsword players, okay? Because before you just don't use poisons or Lighting Infusion and you were Gucci. The issue is this procs guaranteed when the user drops below 30%, and this gives like a 7k HP. Like, it's fucking crazy. Like, if a bow has like what? Like, let's say 12k HP, okay? Now you're looking at 19k HP. Okay, it's still doable for a Guillotine, because if you do critical hit and heavy, for example, you can go upwards of 24k versus a non-endurance player. But the issue is then you need to calculate like fucking shields, damage reduction buffs, all that shit. That, like, seriously, it's super hard right now to one-shot with Guillotine people. And even then, if you just go Greatsword Dagger, you jump in, you one-shot one person, you either die or you gotta reset cooldowns. It's like, okay, what? You just kill one person in a clump of 300, 400 people. Like, I'm sorry. Like, this is... Like, playing bow right now is the most OP thing, and it's utterly brain dead. You have a skill with good damage that literally, like, covers half the map, and all you gotta do is charge Flash Wave, drop Flash Wave, use Clock, reset Flash Wave, drop Flash Wave, you just got 40 kills. Okay, so Greatsword Dagger, unless you have a Teven, it's underperforming on the important PvPs. If the important PvPs were Arena, for example, I'd say, okay, then it's a good class, but it's not. So now it's where Spear comes in. Okay, Spear, after playing for it like the last 2 days since it released, I've been grinding it a lot. Uh, for me, is a melee AoE weapon. Okay, if you're planning on dueling or even arenas, I think it's kinda weaker than Greatsword Dagger, but for anything related to important PvP, it's just way better. Okay, like like look, it's just so much stronger. Okay, like with look, where is it? Let's do a usual combo with. Like, I gotta say, you have less utility with this. Like, losing invisibility is super rough, okay? Because that's a very good perk to use on big scale fights. Losing the double, like the evasion perk, that's rough too, to be honest. And then there was one more skill. Well, small screen, losing it is not that hard for something that I will explain later. But yeah, pretty much Shadow Strike. Like, this hurts me a lot. Like, I cannot get to people anymore who are climbing on some shitty tree or whatever, okay? Because now I don't have this skill. I cannot do those plays of using Shadow Strike, prone, guillotine, kill someone, and return back to the position, okay? That really annoys me, but it's whatever. Passive-wise, to be honest, this one is insanely strong. Then this one gives you a good chunk of extra damage. This is a bit whatever, to be honest. I don't really care about that one. Neither this or... yeah. These two are the main ones, okay? But then, with the spear you win a lot of AoE damage. You win a lot of heavy attack and CC resistance. This is super important. Because one issue you have with Greatsword Dagger, even if you go ranked evasion, like tornadoes are gonna fuck you up. I'm swapping to this because I play on a bomb squad. By me playing on a bomb squad, all I care about is when my tank drops, I drop behind him, I CC. Now I have two options, either Devastating Smash or the AoE Fear. This is an easier timing to do, this is harder timing to do, but this has more impact. So yeah, all I care is go in, deal as much damage as much damage I can on the backline and reset. And this weapon does it way, way, way better, okay? So that's the main reason I'm swapping, is to feel more useful on big fights and because I'm playing on a bomb squad. If you like the single target, you can stay Greatsword Daggers. Like I probably lose duels against a Greatsword Dagger, because for 1 versus 1 that class is just way stronger. But for massive PvP, unless you have a talent, it is literally worthless. Like seriously, it's not even worth, and it gets boring as fuck. Okay. So, with that out of the way, bear in mind, I'm still trying to figure out most of the stuff, okay? Because there's skills that, like for example this one, I think it can be good, but it's hard to use, because you need to be swapping targets, but it gives you attack speed. Attack speed is super important with this class, okay? It's super mandatory, even more than Greatsword Dagger. I was hoping to remove the Vinci from my kit, but I gotta use it just for that extra attack speed. Passive-wise, the ones that I'm gonna always use are these 4, okay? This wasn't really used with Greatsword Dagger, but with this build, you have 2 options. You either go melee evasion, range endurance, or you go range endurance and magic endurance, okay? In any case, this is super worth. This makes you way more tankier. This passive, I think it's worthless, to be honest. I was really hyped about this one because you can stack it 3 times. The issue is you need to use a mobility skill, and that pretty much means that if you want to max stack it, that passive, you want to stack it before you engage. Like for example, you can get 2 stacks like this. Well, and my skill bugs out, okay, but yeah. Like, this is a mobility skill, this is a mobility skill, this is a mobility skill. But you don't want to waste all your mobility skill before the engage, just to get that CC reduction. So, to be honest, the most likely you have is like 100 to 200 more, and I don't think that's ideal. And you're forcing your skills just to get that buff, okay? So, that's the main reason I removed it. Attack speed is super important. You have 2 options between those 2. I'm going with this one because this one is the most consistent one. This is purely RNG. First you gotta kill someone, okay, that has any weaken from you, and if that person dies, there's a 30% chance to increase it. Okay, the amount is huge, but the conditions to proc it, I don't really like it. I'd rather go with this. It's way less attack speed, but I'm making sure I'm having it most of the time. Another important skill is this one. I wasn't really paying attention to this skill when I started playing Spear, but then I realized why it is so strong. Like those three skills will proc it if you use Valiant Brawl or Cruel Smite will chew. And the main thing is with the Spear skills, I'm playing with Ignite. If you want to proc a stack of Ignite, you gotta proc a critical hit. So this makes it way more likely to proc than without it. So that's the main reason I'm using it. So we have those two, which I think are really strong, and those four. So we have 2 slots left. This is where the debate comes in. I don't really think this skill is good. First, you gotta take damage to proc it, and then it's only a 5% chance. I think that's just too extremely low, to be honest. Like, you're not, like, you need to take too many hits to have this. Maybe if you're playing SNS Spear, then this is useful, but not for this combo. At least for now, I didn't find it really useful. Then you have this. This is kind of tricky because the target needs to be below 30% HP, so it's kind of like a finisher. So I use it because I like the concept, but I'm not really sure it's that good. And then you gotta decide between this and this. Okay, so this is 10 skill damage boost more at max level, but it's a percentage chance. Like every time you deal damage, pretty much you have a 10% chance to boost by 3 seconds. In here, and it's only for 3 seconds, while this one is a permanent 120 if you are surrounded by 3 person in a 5-meter radius. The issue you have with that one is that the 5-meter radius is pretty much this. Okay, like right now I'd be getting the buff, but it's not really huge. It's probably it's better than 10% chance, but I'm still testing things out. Yeah, so that's pretty much about passive. Masteries, this is hard because now they increased to 20 points. And I'm not gonna lie, what I'm thinking about doing is picking this, and picking this. Those three and not finishing off. I have to say, this one is good, but it's not crazy good because the amount it gives is not really that high. And this one is super good, but then I have gotta drop either ignite damage or extra 105 endurance of each type, which I'm not really a huge fan. And I can compensate this with Da Vinci or gear, so yeah, it's still hard, but this for sure, this probably for sure too. This is super good, so you either decide to go with like you can go this and this, okay, like you can go those 2 trees, or you can go this, or you can go this for example, but rather than shield penetration chance, I'd rather go with the skill boost. That's for masteries. Now, things I'm gonna mention about Spear. The block is fucking OP. Okay, like it's crazy OP. You get a block like on static. You don't need to roll unless you're facing melee. If you're facing another melee, you wanna roll. If not, you wanna block stationary. The counter-attack damage is actually huge depending on what you block. Like, I'm pretty sure today I was making a duel, and I literally took 1/4 HP from one guy just from blocking. And then you get literally a smoke screen on there, because you evade all range and magic projectiles for 2 seconds. It's pretty much the smoke screen from daggers, but in your block. Insanely strong, way stronger than this. And I personally think this block is underrated, but this one is just stronger. I don't use this skill at all. I've been trying to use this. It's not ideal. Must use in Inferno mode. This is insanely strong. This one you can make like this for single target combined with a guillotine is super strong because of the specializations. You want to take this. You want to jump with your spacebar. Then use this so you prone the target, and then you want to take this. So you increase by 500 the chance of your guillotine dealing critical hit damage, and then you increase that critical damage by 15%. It's super strong, to be honest, but rather than that one, I use this one for prone. So another must skill, like those two are the combo, and you gotta charge the javelin with this one, so you gotta take this no matter what. I honestly find this worthless. Like, I don't really care that someone cannot block for 6 seconds. Maybe in duels it's worth it, but even then the cooldown is so high and it deals 0 damage, so yeah, not really a huge fan. This still needs test. This, I feel, is the type of skill that this game should boost more, because this could actually give the... Like, I really think they went for a bruiser build with this class. The issue is this, I think, is a bit lackluster. Like, maybe if you can surround yourself with 20 people, it starts healing quite a lot, because max level, I think this is like 100% damage and 20% skill heal of that damage, but then you take this perk, so it's half the damage that you deal with this skill, but like the base damage is kinda low, so yeah, I'm still trying this skill out. Must use skill, I recommend it with those 2 perks. First, a 4k health shield is fucking nuts, to be honest. It's almost like a bow shield on cooldown. And then, so if you read the last part, after 3 seconds, increase magic melee and ranged heavy attack chance by 118 per target within an 8 meter radius, okay? Up to 5 targets. This thing is giving you almost 700 heavy attack chance, which is crazy. You want to make sure you increase the range so you maximize this skill, okay? So we're talking about the 12 meter radius. You're in any large scale PvP, you're most likely getting the full benefit from this. So pretty strong. This one, I'm kinda sad because I hope this will deal a bit more damage, but I use this because something I found with this, no Shadow Strike, you really feel the lack of mobility, and the main issue is Shadow Strike gives no fucks about terrain. Like, it goes through everything because it's pretty much a TP. This one and Precision Dash can get stuck in certain terrain, so I want to make sure I have some mobility to catch up on players. This skill for me is insanely strong. If you read the last part, it says, if Tempest Strike hits a target affected by Bind, Fear, Sleep, Stun, or has a brand applied by the user, has an 80% chance to apply Collision Push. That's wrong. It's Collision Prone. Okay, this is literally an AoE prone. How can you use this, for example? You can use Death from Above, you fear, you use this, you literally just prone everyone. Or you can use Devastating Smash into AoE prone into Guillotine. AoE. Okay, massive damage. That's pretty good. And the main reason I use it is to combo it with my Guillotine, because I've been looking for some combos that I might explain later. So yeah, I really like this skill. Well, it's strong too, because let's say you stun these 3 targets, but this target is not stunned and comes to stop you. You literally, if you play League, this is like a Qin Tao R. You're gonna push him away. If there's a wall, he takes an insanely long stun. If not, he takes like a 1 second stun, which is pretty strong too, because it allows you to cast skills on the people that are prone. So I really like this skill to create a space. Then we're moving on this one. This one I'm still debating, because I really think it's strong. The issue is it's a bit clunky. Like, Spear overall feels a bit clunky, which is a pity. And the main reason why I feel this especially Spear Greatsword, you need to stack a lot of attack speed. It's super important to stack a lot of attack speed. So, for example, one combo I've been, like, if you check the specializations of that skill pretty much, look, if the target is stunned, 20% more damage, which is huge, because this is only 101% base damage, but it's 10 times. So we're looking at a 1000% damage per se, which a 20% increase is huge. But then look at this, increase critical damage by 15%. So the combo that I figured out for small clumps or even single target is this one. You stun in area, you use this, prone area because the stun is still there. 20, almost 21k per x2, of course it's dummy, but you get the idea. You maximize your critical damage with this skill for the Guillotine. I really think that's a good combo, to be honest. So yeah, that's that skill. The main reason I use it is because it deals decent damage, plus it buffs my guillotine. But the animation is a bit too long for me, even if I use attack speed. You see, it's a bit long, but it's a decent skill. Then you have Death from Above. This skill is a bit of a nightmare. First of all, the specializations are fucking crazy, okay? First one, skill damage boost increases by 30 for 3 seconds, equal to the number of enemies affected by fear, stacks up to 5 times. So we're looking at 150 skill damage boost, which is pretty good, right? Because it's 5 targets. Or is it 5 targets? Well, whatever. You can stack it 5 times, but then you can increase the maximum targets by 5. That means this can go to 300 skill damage boost if you hit enough targets. That's just crazy because this can be your opening. Like, I'm gonna show you my long combo, okay? This is full long combo. So you go Da Vinci, buff, you jump, depth smash, you go with this, AoE prone, guillotine, then you start proccing this, then you throw the spear, then you wanna finish any target with this, because this procs all the ignite stacks left. This you wanna use it whenever you need it to heal yourself, but as I said, see, right now it's healing me for, let's say, 100 HP more or less. Like, still needs more testing. So pretty much that's a big combo. And I really think this skill is clunky as fuck. There's a bug currently. If you, for example, cast it, like if you, for example, cast a pre-buff and immediately use this, it might bug out and make you walk. There's like a weird animation cancel. I'm gonna try to replicate it, okay? You gotta be super fast, so look. You see? I'm walking because I cast those 2 skills too fast. You need to give it some, like not a second, but just give it half a second and then you can cast it freely. Which kinda sucks, to be honest. Hope they fix that. That's pretty much all the skills. I wouldn't really go cooling burst. This skill might be worth, but needs more testing. I don't use this. Maybe this is worth for duels. Yeah, it's definitely worth for duels more than the AoE prone. But if you're going for big fights, this one is way better. Be careful with this one to not mess your team by throwing enemies outside. This one I needs, to be honest, I feel this skill needs to be buffed to deal more damage, but it's kinda decent as mobility and some damage. This is up to you to test if you think it's worth or not. I don't think this skill is worth at all. Like, yes, it gives you some ignite stacks or whatever, but yeah, it barely deals any damage and it's kinda slow to cast, so I don't think it's worth. This is my... Yeah, like you can see, Grits right now has barely any points. It has on G-Blade, increase the depth smash stun, precision dash range, and bind, pretty much, and that's it. Da Vinci I use nothing, I just want it for the attack speed. That's pretty much about skills. Now I'm gonna proceed to explain builds. So right now I'm not allowed to make a full swap to spear yet. That's why I have this horrifying thing. Like, this evasion right now is completely worthless, because with daggers and the passive I was able to reach like 1.6k range evasion, but right now this is worthless. Like, I get hit by every single range evasion. But as you can see, I have 250 endurances of each and a bit more of a range endurance. I'm rocking 50, 33, 10, 40, 40. This gives me 100 endurance passive plus magic defense, which I think is pretty strong considering you're kinda going for a bruiser build. And then whenever you get this, it's 105 more range endurance. On the quest log, the fortitude stat is back. It's not, because if you check this one, every point that you increase, it gives you endurance. Guess what? Why is it only giving range? Oh no, here it is. Okay, every point is giving 5 endurance. That's not contabilized in questlog. I'm pretty sure I can reach like 1.9k melee evasion and 1.4 range endurance, which is super huge. Plus, this is another reason I want to play this build. It's collision resistance. So as you can see, I have like 55. That's coming from, well, yeah, that's true. I even have more. So the 40 fortitudes are giving me 150 in total resistance of every single CC. That's not crazy in and of itself, but then again, this build, I swapped this for the Templar Cloak, which gives me collision resistance, and then the most important thing, this maxed out gives me like 400. So if I proc this, look, right now I'm currently sitting at 520 collision resistance. I'm probably reaching like 700 collision resistance with only couple pieces of, like, the cloak, the ring, I think, or the bracelet. I can add there 100 collision resistance more. That pretty much should be able to save me from tornadoes, which is a thing I really want, because when you're playing Greatsword Dagger and you have your fucking crazy tank going in, you're sometimes getting picked off by tornadoes because you don't have, like, yes, obviously people can say, oh, you need to reposition better, you need to go from the flanks. Okay, look, if I have 200 guys there and and I'm here, my bomb squad might be here, but even there, if we're flanking from this side, my tank goes in, I don't have time to do a deeper flank. If I miss the timing because my tank has a Belander, I'm screwing up the combo, because the combo is dependent on me on using Devastating Smash to keep all the people that he pulled on place. And then I can do Devastating Smash. Look, everyone is on a pixel due to Belander. And I can go Dix. Okay? That clan gets completely annihilated right now. That didn't happen with Greatsword or Dagger unless you had Tevent. If you had Tevent, you were able to pull those types of clams, otherwise not. So yeah, I really hope the collision resistance helps me on that department. The HP is low right now. I think with the build on my quest log, I was looking at around, like, what was it, 21k HP more or less. I'm with runs included. So yeah, the other build you can do, of course, is range endurance with magic endurance and 0 melee. It's not horrible because with so many collision resistance, you will be able to withstand prones and tornadoes. So it's not as awful as going without melee evasion, but any melee which uses, how is it called? Death Blow? No. Sorry, holy shit. Stunning Blow is gonna stun you because you won't have enough stun resistance. And before I go, one last tip that I figured out today. Okay, as you can see, I'm carrying the Duke Magnus Fury. Passive, melee heavy attack plus 95 for 6 seconds upon applying stun or shock with Stunning Blow. Stunning Blow, okay? Stunning Blow is that skill. As you can see, I'm not using it, okay? Look at this. Duke Mana Berserk. Okay, so now you know. Devastating Smash procs the Duke Magnus passive. In that case, that made me way more confident on dropping that skill on this combo, because I know I can proc that heavy attack chance increase with this. That's pretty much for today. As I said, this is still a raw version. More testing needs to be done. I need to make the actual build and test it on PvP, because right now the issue I have is, even though I'm able to kill more people than with GS Dagger, the issue I'm having is this is kinda screwing me up, okay? Like, both hit me and hit me super hard, because I'm neither reducing their damage by a lot, neither dodging, okay? So melee evasion, melees, I ignore most of it except if they are going with a hit build, but this is awful. Like you're supposed to counter 2 types of damage. Right now I'm only countering 1, and I'm being countered by 2. Thank God endurance, no matter what amount you're carrying, it helps in some way. That's pretty much it. Hope to see you soon again.